The following of a search form tutorials in Django, we're going to continue with our code files, and then the next step we're going to do is to create our templates. So we've completed the URLs, models, and views. Now it's time for the templates. So in the root directory, which is called class, we're going to create a new folder called templates. Here it is, and it's been created. Now the next thing we're going to do is to head over to our settings.py instead of the class folder and determine the templates directory. So the first thing we need to write is base directory, and then we are going to have the name of our folder, templates. There we go. So the next step we're going to do is to create a template called home.html. home.html. And here for the first step we're going to create the h1 tag. And so I'm gonna call this home or home page. And also another template here, gonna call this search.html. And so we have home, we have search. So here we're going to create the complete list of our objects. So I mean all of the names of the class. And then we're going to modify our templates so that it will only show the search results. So this page is for the search results, and this is going to be in the URL /search, and this is in the main page. So the main page, we're going to add the form for search. So let's continue. So now let's create our h1 tag. And so complete, here I'm going to write complete list of the class. And also I'm going to add here, so the UL tag on our list. And this is going to be, this is the first thing we're going to do is to add the for loop. So for students in object list, so object list, and we have % at the beginning and at the end. So this is part of the Django template. And now we're going to add, also let me end the for loop and for. So in here we're going to add the names of the students. So li tag, and so here the first one is, let me add the first and the second one. So another curly brackets. And so here we're going to write student dot first name. So here we're going to include the first name and the last name. So student dot last name. And here we go. So now it's time to run our project and see if we can see the list of all the students. So this step is necessary for us to go to the next step. However, if you don't do it, it doesn't matter, but we do it in order to see the entire list of the students. Actually, this is not important, but we do this for you to better understand what we're going to do in the next step. So I'm gonna run python manage.py run server, and now I'm gonna head over to my browser and head over to the main page, also the search page, and here, as you can see list of our class, which is names of football players here. So let's now create our search form. So now we're going to complete our home, which is going to be the place where we're going to add the search form. So we use the form tag, and then we write action equals to, then we write our URL. So just as always, this is the type of writing the URL in detail. So the name of here was search. So what's going to happen is that we're going to go through the page, go through the search, and see the results of search, and then the type equals to get. So we're going to query data, and now we close the tag, and here we're going to add the input tag. So the input tag over here, and so actually here I should write name. So the name is Q, so we're going to use this, and this is a short form of query. And then we have the type, which is equal to text, and also we have placeholder equals to search, and 3 dots over here, and now we can close the input tag. And let me change this to capital. Okay, let's save the code. So we have the two of our templates ready. This one is going to be a search form, a very easy to work with search form, and it is placed in our home page. So we're going to write the name of the students, either the first name or the last name, and it's going to show us the results. So the results are going to be shown inside of this search.html. So this is the search results page. So now we need to do something else in order to do our main query function. So here we're going to define query set function, and here actually we needed to use get underline query set. So not this one, this is suggested, but thanks. So we're going to have our own return self dot actually student is the name of our class. That's objects dot filter. So we're going to filter our objects from our database, and now here we're going to use Q, which is for our query set. And so right here what we're going to do is actually test one of our filters. So first of all, we're going to filter one of our names, for example. So for example, we're going to search for for Cristiano Ronaldo, right? So first name that actually underline I contains, and this is going to be equal to query. And also we're going to have another query for the last name. So we're going to write exactly the same thing for the last name. And so this is an OR, so we need to place the OR gate or OR operator. So this is what we use for that. Also for our queues here, we need to import from Django.db.models import queue. So I think that this is models.db, models.db. So probably some misspelling. So db.models. So there we go. Now, so here instead of the query, because we haven't defined this, I'm going to test, for example, Cristiano. So here I'm going to write the name. And here also I'm going to write Ronaldo. So let's save this and get back to here. So if I refresh the page, you can only see Cristiano Ronaldo, right? Because we have only searched for this one. So now we're going to add, instead of this, we're going to add query, right? And in our query, we're going to see what we're going to do. So let's first define that. So query equals to self dot request dot get with capital letters and dot get with the small letters. And here we're going to get that queue that we had with a small queue that we had in our templates. And here we can add queue, actually query that we have defined. So there we go. Let's save everything, and now let's get back to our home page. And here is the place where we can search, right? So I'm gonna search only Leo. Let's see what we'll see. We'll see Lionel Messi, right? So as cool as that. So let me search Lionel. And again, we're going to have Lionel Messi. And let me search something else. So for example, we can write Harry and we'll see Harry Kane, right? So whatever the name we search for, I will find the appropriate search result. And imagine that I only enter one letter that is mutual between two names, so the two names will appear. So for example, I search for R and I press enter, and you'll see that we have Cristiano Ronaldo and Harry Kane because both of them has R in them. So great. So we have managed to create a search form for our Django app. You can add these to anywhere inside of your website and create a very cool search form. So that's it for this tutorial. We will finish this part of our tutorial related to the search form, and that's it.